สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. Today I am making a dish that recently became super popular in Thailand because it made an appearance in a certain famous television series. But that's besides the point because this dish is a delicious thing to make in its own right. It is something called Pla Waan, which translates to sweet fish sauce, and it's something that we use to dip our fruit in. Now, I know for some of you, the word fish sauce and fruit don't seem like they should ever go in the same sentence, but trust me, it's so delicious that not only do we do it in Thailand, there are variations of this dip all over Southeast Asia. And it is going to be the thing that saves all the fruits that you don't want to eat fresh, anything that's sour or underripe. This is the thing you want to put on it. Let's get started. So it's very, very easy. The main ingredient, the sweet part of Nam Pla Waan is palm sugar. So I'm just going to add them all in here. Now it's very important that you use palm sugar because as you can see, it is the main flavor. So any substitutes that you use will yield a slightly different flavor, okay? Of course, we're going to need some fish sauce. How much fish sauce you add will actually depend on the saltiness of the next ingredient, that is shrimp paste. Yes, we're adding fish sauce and shrimp paste to our fruit dip. Is gonna be good. Shrimp paste can vary very much in saltiness, so I would start with just 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, taste it, see how it goes, and you can add more afterwards. Just gonna add a little bit of water to help this get started, and all we're gonna do, very easy, is turn the heat on, just low, medium, low, until all the sugar is dissolved. And so how I did my sugar from the blocks, how I processed it initially is I just pounded in a mortar and pestle and broke it down to little pieces. It's a lot of chopping, so when it's a lot of palm sugar, I just pound it. Okay, so while that's going, let's take a look at the rest of our stuff. I got 2 sets of dried shrimp here. They're actually the same. It's just that one I roughly chop so the pieces are smaller, and then the other ones I'm gonna blitz in my coffee grinder so it's very fine, it mixes well. You can blitz everything if you want, but I like just little bits of chewiness dispersed all throughout my dip. So now I'm gonna add this to my coffee grinder and blitz that until it's very fine. Just a few seconds and ta-da! We got fluffy shrimp bits. And apart from that, I just got some thinly sliced shallots and some chili. Spiciness is to taste. And that is it. That's all the ingredients that we have. And now I'm just gonna wait for all my sugar to dissolve. And so it's helpful for you to just kind of go in and mash it with your spatula. It'll help it go a little bit faster. So it's now completely dissolved. I'm going to turn this off. Whew. Let the bubbles subside a little bit so I can see what's actually going on here. There we go. So what you're going to end up with is something that seems too runny for a dip right now because it's very hot, but it will thicken up significantly once it cools down. So in goes my dried shrimp. I'm going to add some umami and a little bit of texture and body. Shrimp, a little bit of chopped shrimp. So some people like to let this cool first before they add their shallots so the shallots sort of stay fresh. I actually prefer it if the shallots are a little bit cooked down by the residual heat. So I've turned this off, right? So because I find otherwise the shallots just a little bit too pungent. And then my chilies going in, and chilies I definitely like to put it when it's still hot because it will disperse the spiciness better. So now, definitely you want to taste this for balance of salty and sweet, but remember this is like melted sugar. It's very, very hot, so you want to really blow on it. Oh, it's perfect. You just want like a really nice balance of salty and sweet. And if it's your first time making it, you might just not have any idea of what it should taste like. In which case, what I would suggest you do is actually dip your fruit in it and just see how it goes with your fruit. If it's too salty, add a little more sugar. If it's too sweet, add a little more salt so that it all ends up being very well balanced. And that's it. How easy is that? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Now, in terms of fruits that you want to serve with this, classically, we serve this with sour green mango. So it's very crunchy, very tart. So the tartness goes really well with the sweet and saltiness of this dip. However, here, I can't find sour green mango, but I have found many other fruits that actually work really well. Anything that's tart and firm enough that you can like hold it in your hand so you can dip it will work. So for example, Granny Smith apple is my absolute go-to. It's crisp, it's firm, it's tart, perfect. And then here I also have pineapple that's way too white, way too firm, not juicy enough, way too tart, but it's perfect for this dip. Strawberries, come on, like we all know that strawberries show up so disappointing so many times. They're too firm, too sour, not sweet enough, perfect for the Pla Waan. And finally, I've got here, this is just mango, but it's underripe mango. So it's a little too soft, but it's tart enough that I think it still works. So if you've got a mango that's just, not good enough to eat on its own, try it with this dip as well. What should I try with this? Let's go with my regular go-to Granny Smith apples. Oh yes, look at that. You want to get some shallots. Actually, I'm gonna look for some dried shrimp bits. There we go. Yeah. Sap is the word I want to use for this. It's spicy, salty. It's an amazing amount of umami that you've never had with fruit before. Like when was the last time you had fruit and umami paired together? It's so perfect. Like it's such, if you've never had it, it's just something that like, what? I don't really get how that works. And I just gave this to Adam, by the way, who was very cynical of this dish, to put it mildly, and he loved it. He was like, this is so surprisingly good. So if you are unfamiliar with this concept, give it a go and then write me. Let me know what you think about it. I'm also gonna try some strawberries because like tart, firm, crunchy strawberries is one of my biggest food pet peeve. Like they always look so good at the store and then they turn out with no flavor. This is what you do with them. This is what you do with them. And chewiness from those dried shrimp. You just gotta try it out. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. When you make it, send me a photo, and I would love to know what other kinds of fruit you pair it with. You know what would be really good? Cape gooseberries. Those little things that always end up on dessert garnish. Nobody really wants to eat them because they're sour. Would be perfect with this dip. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, make sure you do so you don't miss an episode, and click that little bell icon as well so you get a notification when I post a new video. If you love the show and you want to support us, check out our Patreon link, which is in the description below, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal. He won't try it. It's good, right?
All right, that's good. Even though it has shrimp goo in it. That's crazy.